Hi guys, out for a change of scene today. I'm out bird watching with the Maven CM1 8x32 monoculars. Monoculars is so underrated. So that's why I'm here to tell you why it's good for bird watching, some hunting, and I even took a ride with a cop. So let's talk about everything starting right now. Okay, so the CM1 is based off of the C series of binoculars. So it has both ED glass and Schmidt-Pachand prisms. Yes, I go on all about that all the time, but here in the CM1's really important too, especially if you're bird watching, because the ED glass extra low dispersion glass helps to minimize the color fringing around targets, and birders know what that is because when you're looking at birds sitting on water or when they're in the skies, high contrast backgrounds, you've got a lot of light going on, and you'll find that the edges of your target are blurred, fuzzy, and often bloated with colors like purple and blue that can ruin your picture if you're imaging. So ED glass really important because it either completely eliminates or at least significantly reduces a lot of that. Now it has a Schmidt-Pachand prism, so it still needs help in improving reflectivity throughout the entire optical path. That means for you a nice big clear picture. Really important now because we've got 8 times magnification and a huge 32mm lens. So there's a lot of light coming through versus smaller monoculars and even smaller compact binoculars. Now, as far as visual performance pictures, I have some distance shots for you. So different targets at different distances. Let's check those out. Okay, let's talk about build quality. Approximately 5.1 inches long, around 2 inches around, and 8 ounces. Really a non-issue monocular to throw into a coat pocket. In my case, it's a purse. Fully rubber armored, protected, polymer frame, IPX6 rated, so it's waterproof and nitrogen purged, so it's fog proof. It's not going to fog up on the inside when you're going from extreme conditions, you know, warm vehicle to cold outside, warm house to cold frosty mornings when you're out just going for a stroll, even maybe doing some bird watching. Now, what I love that even though these are compact, they come with lens caps, and that is a big deal to me because a lot of compact binoculars don't come with an objective lens cap. Really important to me because there's a lot of junk in my purse and I don't want the glass getting scratched up, so I love that they come protected. The objective lens is seated further back into the objective barrel. I like that as well. Now, this is not a diopter like what you would see on binoculars. It's actually the focus ring. Pro tip right here, don't try to adjust the focus like this. You can do it, but it's really difficult. It has recessed knurling, so it's kind of hard to grip. What I like to do is pull out the eye cup and then make my adjustments from there. And really that's how you would be using it when you're glassing. I pull the eye cup all the way out and you focus for the distance of targets that you're looking at. Multi-position eye cups, awesome, no issues there. Really good quality build. I find it a breeze to take this with me on my person wherever it is that I'm going, and lately that's been for a lot of bird watching. I do want to point out that the CM1 is not tripod mountable, so everything that you'll be doing with this, if you happen to digiscope, will be done freehand. Now what I like to do is I mount my adapter, I put in my smartphone, and then I kind of try to lay this down on a surface where I can just leave it alone, push record, or use a Bluetooth remote to take my photos so that I'm not interrupting the image stability. Now, most of you, especially if you're a birder, you're not necessarily taking pictures through your optic. You're taking your camera along with you and you're using binoculars or a monocular to spot the targets. So that's what you're going to be using it for. Then you'll be having your camera actually taking the photos and zooming in on the targets that you want to get. What about hunting? Good for hunting? Absolutely. I mean, it's still high powered at 8 times magnification. It has a 32mm objective lens, so smaller than your 8x42 binoculars, but then again, you're cutting it in half. Now, I hunt in open plain, wide areas, so I'm going to opt for a larger size binoculars, but think more along the lines of tree stand hunting, thick timber. If this is good enough for birding, then yeah, it's going to be good enough for waterfowl hunting too. And like I said, fog proof and waterproof, so if you accidentally drop this into a puddle or something, not a big deal. Just make sure you clean it off correctly so you don't scratch up the glass. I also think that these would perform better than a compact pair of, say, 7x25s and even 10x25s. You've got the larger objective lens, you've got high performance quality glass in here. So yes, they are bigger than, say, your other smaller sized binoculars out there, but you've got a lot more power, which means a lot more ability to be able to glass confidently and efficiently whenever you take these out. What about its ride-alongs with the cop? Okay, so I found that cops either fell into one of two camps. One, you had those who were definitely binocular people and weren't even willing to look at the binocular. And then you had those who saw the binocular and were like, you know what, that might be easier to use than the current pair of binoculars I have. And they proved to be very popular with that camp of people. Really good for people watching, observation. The higher power gives them the ability to get out a little bit more reach and distance, but it is still not your extended long reach for minute details kind of pair of glass. Now, I like that it is more covert to use because there is only one barrel, unlike pulling out a big hunky pair of binoculars when you're trying to be, you know, undercover sort of thing. Keep it in your truck, pull it out. Really good for law enforcement and security if you find these easy to use over a pair of binoculars. Overall, there's really nothing not to like about the CM1 binocular. I mean, it's compact, really lightweight, easy to use. I mean, and made in Japan, fully weatherproof, ready, great glass. The best thing about it is its value. I mean, priced at approximately $150 with mid-range performance. These are definitely the #1 top-rated binoculars you should consider if you're in that market. Now, are you not quite sold on binoculars? You're still more of a binocular person? That's not an issue either. Check out in the link below, description below, the link to the Maven Binocular Comparison Guide. There I'll take you through all the difference of the binoculars so you can choose the right one for your needs and your budget. I've also put all of this review into written form down below. You'll catch it in a link down there. Don't forget to like this video because you like target tamers and subscribe to us. Keep up to date with all the cool videos that we're coming out with. Now that I'm done talking, I'm going to go back to birding. We'll see you later, guys. Primary activity while I have been testing out the CM1s. Sorry, I've got the heebie-jeebies in my original spot. There was a snake like 1 foot in front of me, so I've got the goosebumps right now with anything that's touching me. The things I do for you guys to do this review. I'm distracted by wildlife running around right now.